There are many types of chicken nuggets, ranging from various styles. But what type of chicken nugget would I be? I personally would be a dino nugget, and specifically, I would be the T-Rex dino nugget. I choose the T-Rex, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because that is my favorite dinosaur of them all. Many people might say this is a generic pick of a dinosaur, but personally, I don't care, because that one makes me laugh the most. I find it funny that they have the smallest arms out of the most of the dinosaurs, but their legs are ridiculously strong, allowing them to run extremely fast. I enjoy running as well, and it is something I am in the process of getting back into doing every day, or maybe not every day. When I run, I usually go for about 30 minutes or so. Other times, I might go for a specific distance, nothing special. I find that running helps me clear my head, and usually I enjoy doing it with music. The music I listen to when I run varies depending on the type of feeling I'm in at the moment, because I like to daydream while I run. My daydreams vary between different stories that have come up in my head, imagining that I am in one of my favorite shows, books, manga, movies, anything I can dream about when I'm running. It is a very calm experience, and it keeps me grounded while I run. Before I know it, I've run for about 2 to 3 miles without even realizing it. I find that it helps me clear my mind and distress, both the running aspect as well as the daydreaming. I also find that I daydream a lot. This might be an aspect of my overthinking, but I'm not entirely sure, if I'm being honest. I find that I daydream for a large majority of my day, especially doing boring tasks. Take, for instance, driving. Now, I pay attention when I'm on the road driving, but it's almost like when I drive, I am on an autopilot, and I am daydreaming while the rest of my body takes over, while it navigates me to my destination. Some people might say I'm not focused, but that's not true. I am fully focused when I drive, so much so that I am hyper vigilant about what's going on around me. And sometimes I've incorporated that into my daydreams while I'm driving. I also do get a bit annoyed when my daydreams are interrupted by life circumstances. Not as much as I did when I was younger, but sometimes I find myself getting a bit irritated when it does happen. It's like meditation helped me keep that under control though. I usually try to keep my music, or my songs rather, in a certain order as well, because when I daydream, listening to music is key. And the music that I listen to is usually in specific orders. Sometimes, not all the times though. This doesn't have to be entirely with music. I do this a lot with the edits that I've saved on certain apps like TikTok and Instagram. Mostly TikTok, because they have a lot more edits that have better music, especially when it comes to things like anime, which I really hope that this app doesn't get banned, because I have a ton of edits that I have saved over the years of being on that app. One thing I also find is that it helps me control my anger as well. I find that I do get a bit angry at certain things that life can throw at you, and it does start to piss me off sometimes. What I have learned though from that is that I need to focus less on what's making me angry, and I need to focus more on my reaction to those things. I am angry at my lack of understanding how I can control my anger in those situations. I'm trying to keep my reaction to the situation under control, because at the end of the day, the only person that you can control is yourself. I want to get to a point where if I am in a situation that makes me angry, I can calm myself down and be able to control my reaction to the situation that makes me angry. I find that journaling helps me a lot, which is why I do it for many reasons. One situation in my past that made me irrationally angry when I thought about it, one thing that helped me was when I journaled about it the last year or a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly. What I found is that after I had journaled about that situation, months later when I was thinking about that situation, it didn't make me angry. I could think about that situation to say it happened, but I learned to cope with that situation. I know I just used the word cope because a lot of people use the word cope in a negative light, but that just really sums up that situation entirely. It is a very refreshing experience as well, and it made me smile at the time. And I'm really happy about it. Not that I went through that situation, but that I was able to allow myself to forgive. I would say probably forgiveness will be another topic in itself. And to think this whole journal started with what type of chicken nugget would I be. Funny enough, I'm not even that much of a fan of nuggets, and I'm not even entirely sure why I decided to pick nuggets. If I think about it for a bit, when I was writing this journal prompt, it reminded me of this game I used to play. It was an off-brand anime game, to say the least, and in the beginning of the game, you found this robot, and your goal was to stream with the robot so that you could make money. And in the beginning, the robot didn't have arms or legs, and to get more money to get the robot arms and legs, you had to stream with the robot. I shouldn't say it anymore. It's gonna make me look bad. Pretty funny game. And even thinking about that, once I had quit a lot of that sort of stuff, I have found that a lot of apps, or certain apps, push that sort of content on you. I really find it more in the right-leaning apps, if anything, especially on something like Instagram. That's a topic for another day, because that delves into a different sort of argument that'll just put me down a rabbit hole of another topic that I would want to journal about another day. I have my theories on why they do this, but that's for another day.